All right, ready to bring out our first of two heat races for the Friesen Performance IMCA Modifieds. And they are going to grid up like this. Starting inside pole, the 23K, the Go Plumbing and Heating Hoppus Motorsports Performer Chassis. That's Kersey Ferrando to outside the 31 of Manny Freeman out of Central Point. Brett Muth and the DM Innovations. Howard Family Cleaning sponsored GRT from Cottage Grove lines up third. Fourth is going to be the 82 of Eston Whistler doing double duty out of Otis and the Whistler Construction Otis Market SDMF chassis. Starting fifth in the Superior Fuel Cells owned number 42, the DK&J Construction. Jesse Ellen Photography, SDMF Chassis, Kevin Williamson out of Coburg, Craig Castle, the 25 Express out of Albany, and the Bill, Michelle, and Ryan Witt, Deborah Hernan Family Nurse Practitioner owned Shaw. 64 Junior, that is Ray Niffen Jr., followed by Corey Barbary in the 55 machine. First of two heat races, going to get things started here. Four wide formation as they float out of the second corner. 64 Junior, Ray Niffen Jr. sideways in turns 1 and 2. We're going to stay green, and it'll be Eston Whistler, your leader of lap number 1. Eston Whistler third in Shaw Race Cars Western Region points, fifth in state points from the northern coastal city of Otis. He's got the race lead, but Kevin Williamson, the guy that is ahead of him by one spot in both regional points and 2 spots in the state points race, holds on to position 2 and was trying to give chase. Want to welcome our live looking audience on this Facebook Live Look-In, courtesy of Dirt Oval TV. Whether you are watching on Facebook, YouTube, or the social media channels, we're here at the Douglas County Dirt Track, and this is heat race number 1 and 2 for the Friesen Performance IMCA Modifieds. Problems for the 64 Junior, Ray Niffen Jr., the Granite Mafia Rogue Race Engines Bridges Automotive Repair. 64 Junior, he goes off the track. Caution coming out as we have shown 2 laps complete and 6 remaining. Delaware double file restart as it is Whistler, Williamson, Brett Muth, Manny Freeman, Kersey Ferrando, the top 5. For those of you with the live look, and we're going to give you a couple of freebies. You can order up on IMCA TV or Dirt Oval TV to get the rest of your viewing ticket. Outside the top 5, Craig Castle is 6th, and Corey Barbary, the 55, rolling 7th in the C&M Custom Auto and Tire Extreme RC and Hobbies GRT. Eston Whistler, a winner for what ended up being the final race of the 2025 IMCA Wild West Speed Week on June 19th at Cottage Grove Speedway. His 3rd win of the season, victory on March 15th at Central Arizona Raceway in Casa Grande, and a victory at Grays Harbor Raceway on May 24th in Elma, Washington. So 3 wins in the Shaw Race Cars Western Region, all coming in 3 different states. That was the opening night of the West Coast Modified Clash. Kevin Williamson looking to score his 1st win here this season. He's got 10 podiums and 21 starts in 2025 and has only finished once outside the top 10. Green is out. Williamson, the local point leader here at the Douglas County Dirt Track, trying to fend off the 8M of Brett Muth. Muth coming off of a multi-year hiatus a couple years ago, trying to stay ahead. Muth's best finish this year, a 3rd on May 31st at Cottage Grove Speedway, the only time he has been among the podium in Friesen Performance IMCA Modified action in 2025. And he currently is going to hold on to 2nd. Just as I say that, Williamson with the move downstairs and is able to get up into position 2. A little bit of a battle is starting as soon as problems. Brett Muth getting up and into the wall in turns 1 and 2. That'll bring out a caution, and oh boy, halfway home, 4 and 4 to go. Kersey Ferrando gets all 4 in the fluff, and good evasive action from the 31 of Manny Freeman. It looked like shades of Speed Week, where she was the one that tried to avoid in a similar deal. Carter Patterson was stuck up in turn number 1, tried to avoid, and then just cleared the deck out of her race car as well as Carter Patterson's race car. Not a malice, ill intent sort of deal, just a series of unfortunate events. The original yellow coming out for the 8M of Brett Muth, getting up and into the wall in the second corner. Looks like a tow going to be required for Kersey Ferrando. Ferrando from Scio these days. Her and her husband Gray recently moving from the Staten area. Her best finish, 3rd on May 31st at Willamette Speedway in Lebanon. Only time she's finished among the podium. 7 feature starts this year, resulting in 5 top 10s and 2 top 5s. Has ran a balanced schedule between the Sunoco IMC Stock Car and the Friesen Performance IMC Modified. She was 15th here during Speed Week, the only feature that she was able to make throughout the course of the week. Kevin Williamson talking about his streak. 2 straight third-place finishes, and they've been at Cottage Grove. One on June 19th during Speed Week, and then a couple days ago on Wednesdays, they kicked off the Midweek Mayhem Series. 10 times among the podium, and a second-place result at this racetrack on May 30th, and a pair of second-place finishes. Willamette Speedway on May 10th, also here on May 16th. Looks like also was the runner-up here on May 2nd. So 3 of the 4 second-place finishes have been at this venue, trying to get that breakthrough first win. Of course, been the pilot of the Superior Fuel Cells car since about this time last year, and they have been quite the combo. 2023 winner of the West Coast Sport Mod Clash at Grays Harbor Raceway, but the 82, the 2022 winner of the Mod Frenzy at Sunset Speedway Park. Eston Whistler sports the race lead. 4 laps to finish this one off, and here we go. It's going to be Eston Whistler leading, followed by the 42 of Kevin Williamson. Craig Castle, 6-time Sunset Speedway Park track champion, 2014 Oregon State title winner. Looking for his first win at 2025, despite a pair of runner-up finishes at the Banks Bull Ring back in May. Eston Whistler, Kevin Williamson, Craig Castle, Corey Barbary, followed by Manny Freeman, 1 through 5. White flag is going to come out of the flag stand. One more trip around the speedway for Eston Whistler. Whistler trying to put the finishing touches on this one. And Eston Whistler will make tonight's invert and will pick up the victory in heat race number 1. Kevin Williamson finishes 2nd, Craig Castle 3rd, Corey Barbary 4th, and Manny Freeman 5th. 6th will be Brett Muth, Kersey Ferrando 7th, and Ray Niffen Jr. will finish in position 8. Ready for heat race number 2 for the Friesen Performance IMCA Modifieds. And Bennett Bray, the Newark Mechanical Northwest Window Film Beautiful Reflections 15B Shaw chassis from right here in Roseburg is going to roll out in position number 1 to his outside. Jake Walters all the way from Banks in the Rogers Repair Service. Quality Chain, Lida Excavating PCD. Row 2 inside, John Campos, a 2-time Oregon State champion in the realestatebride.com mortgage marketplace. Whistler Construction GRT from Scio, while starting in 4th. Currently Second in the local point standings, Curtis Towns out of Cottage Grove, the SKS Racing sponsored Rage chassis. He has won here twice this season. Pardon me, once this season, back on May 16th. The driver that has won here on 2 occasions, Ethan Killingsworth, talked about him and his presence. 5th in regional points, 3rd in Oregon State points, and 5th in the local point standings. The Aces Affordable Auto Glass, J. Coda Forestry, Twisted Motorsports by Evo Chassis from Wairika, California. In 3rd in the National Rookie of the Year Series points. To his outside, the 253 from Puyallup, Washington, Will Taylor, Virgil Hansen Automotive Machine, Gould Race Cars sponsored Shaw, and the 98 of Dan Scheller from Oregon City, the Scheller & Sons Remodeling, Principal and Spite Battlefield Solutions Rage. That's going to be your starting grid as we go green. Problems for Jake Walters. Walters and Taylor get together in turn number 2. So this one going to slow down as fast as it started. So Jake Walters, the multi-generation driver from Banks. Of course, his father, Greg Walters, racing tonight in late model action with the I-5 Silver Bullet Late Model Series, brought to you by Knuckle Buster Machine and All In Property Investments. He is going to be able to drive away Will Taylor. Some heavy damage toward the front end of the 253 from Puyallup, WA. We're joking about it because obviously Puyallup is a different sort of city to pronounce, just outside of Tacoma on the south end of that Seattle, Tacoma, the SeaTac metro area. As went to the last couple, Speedway Motors IMCA Super Nationals fueled by Casey's. He's out of the car inspecting the damage. And Gould Race Cars, of course, around these parts back in the 90s. David Gould, a regular at Cottage Grove Speedway and Speedway Motors IMCA weekly action. But his son, William, got his start at Cottage Grove in the old hog class. William, obviously, going back to the Gould's native Oklahoma and becoming the 2013 national champion for the Friesen Performance IMC Modifieds. Anyways, the connection there is Will Taylor wound up pitting next to them at Super Nationals and got to become close friends with the Gould family. And Taylor going to take the long walk back. So 0 laps in. It's going to be double file restart upcoming. Minute break, couple years into modified action, took quite a bit of a hiatus. And prior to racing modifieds, just had raced cage karts. So obviously making the big jump into this division, a very competitive division across the country. His best finish, he's got a couple of 6th place finishes, one here on May 2nd, and actually both here, May 2nd and June 6th. Also a 7th on May 16th. Curtis Towns will start to his outside pole. When IMCA came back to the state of Oregon in 2013, he was the first champion and a 3-time IMCA modified champion at Cottage Grove Speedway. 3 wins, including Wednesday night at the Midweek Mayhem Series opener. And a win back-to-back here May 16th and then Cottage Grove Speedway the next night. And his lovely wife, Tiffany, picking up her first career Mach 1 IMC Sport Compact feature on the same night, May 17th. Curtis Towns on a bit of a streak when it comes to top 10s. Actually, only one night he's finished outside the top 10. 11th on May 3rd at Cottage Grove. In the other finishes, finishing 10th at Coos Bay during Speed Week on the Sunday portion on June 15th, and back-to-back 9th place finishes, one here and one at Cottage Grove during Speed Week. Those are his 4 worst finishes of the year. Other than that, they've pretty much been top 5s. Correction, Town's going to start right behind him. John Campos in the 36, talked about him being a 2-time state champion, also a Speed Week champion back in 2018. State titles in 2017 and 20. He's got 1 top 5 to his credit at Cottage Grove during Speed Week. On June 19th, a 5th and a 7th here. Those are his best 2 performances of the week. Out of corner number 4, green flag is going to fly. Second attempt to get this one started. John Campos via the high side, looking to hit some action traction. He's going to hit the wall instead. Tony Hawks around the outside of the second corner. Ethan Killingsworth on the prowl. A 5-2 run for the 7M from Wairika, California. Killingsworth going to go level pegging here with Bennett Bray for the race lead. Down the back straightaway, it's a bit of a drag race. Here at the 3/10 mile oval, Douglas County dirt track. It's Bray down low, Killingsworth up top, side by side of the start-finish line. Give the nod to Killingsworth by 0.002 seconds. So close between your top 2 runners. Killingsworth leads. It's Bennett Bray second. Third in the running order, Curtis Towns, while Dan Scheller, the 98, is currently in position 4. And Jake Walters, your top 5. Bray trying to retrieve the lead from Killingsworth, while Dan Scheller has 4 top 5s and 10 starts this season, including 4 straight 5th place finishes. 2 of them in April, 1 at Grace Harbor, 1 at Willamette, and then 2 straight in May at Sunset and Willamette. That's the battle between the 98 and the 24. Fight for third. Scheller's on the bottom, Towns up top, as John Campos going to retrieve 5th from the 67 of Jake Walters. We talked about it during the lineups. Ethan Killingsworth in his rookie campaign, 3rd in the nation in the National Rookie of the Year points. 6 wins, including 2 here, 3 at Southern Oregon Speedway, 1 at Cottage Grove Speedway. He's definitely been on the tear, as he's 5th in the Shaw Race Cars Western Region and currently leads the Western Region Rookie of the Year battle. White flag is out. 1 more trip around the speedway for Ethan Killingsworth. Killingsworth, half a straightaway advantage over Bennett Bray. Dan Scheller has successfully gotten ahead of the 24 via the bottom of Curtis Towns, as Ethan Killingsworth will win heat race number 2 for the Friesen Performance IMCA Modifieds. Finishing in second, Bennett Bray. Dan Scheller third. Fourth will be Curtis Towns. And John Campos, the top 5. Then it will be the 67 of Jake Walters and Will Taylor, 6th and 7th. So just like that, heat races are done for the Friesen Performance IMCA Modifieds. Ready to get into our heat races for the Carl Chevrolet IMCA Northern Sport Mods. First of 2. And starting inside pole. By the way, this car is for sale. It's the Schramm Brothers Excavating, JKN Trucking, Equipment and Fleet Services Rage Chassis from Cresswell. That's Aaron Bloom, racing for Schramm Motorsports. Let's see, starting outside of him, the 12J of Scott Allen. The Benells overhead door and continuous gutters, Fat Daddy Customs, number 12J, going to roll out in position 2. 44K of Chad Nee running a Razor chassis. Benells overhead door and continuous gutters. City Center Cars and Trucks. Mobile Diesel Service. Starting to his outside from Jan Kalla, originally out of Central Oregon. Lougheed's Automotive and Towing, Shaw Chassis, Scott Lehman. Starting 5th in the city center. Cars and Trucks owned entry. That's the Yeager's Plumbing Umpqua Epoxy Razor Chassis of Don Moore. And starting in 6th, your current point leader. Originally out of Arlington, now living in Corvallis. That is MDS Logistics, Grande, Dave, GRT, Jacob Shandy, Jordan Henry, your defending track champion. The Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair Safety Electric Incorporated BMS in the 24 is Steve Hopkins in the Roseburg Glass. D-Ray Designs number 24. That's going to be your starting lineup as heat race number 1 and 2 for the Carl Chevrolet IMC Northern Sport Mods. Will have Aaron Bloom out in front and showing the way. Running in second is Chad Nee, but the 37 of Don Moore right behind him. Shandy is 4th, and Jordan Henry, your top 5, as Scott Allen will get sideways in turns 3 and 4. Gets on the loud pedal. We're going to keep this one under green. Aaron Bloom, 1 win on the year as the Monday show during the IMCA Wild West Speed Week. 2nd of his career that he won with the series. Don Moore slipping under. Chad Nee to move into position 2. Don Moore, a pair of top 5s and 9 starts this year. A 4th here on May 23rd and a 4th at Coos Bay on June 15th. The 2 times he's finished 5th or better. Jacob Shandy, the reigning Oregon State champion and current point leader here at this facility. Also won the Midweek Mayhem Series at Cottage Grove last year. Holds on to 3rd. 5 podiums and 9 starts, coming off a 3rd place finish on Wednesday. Chad Nee 4th, and it's Jordan Henry still the top 5. Scott Allen, the 12J, in danger of going down a lap. White flag going to be coming out here very soon. Aaron Bloom going to negotiate the 12J to place him a lap down. Battle at the back between Lehman and the 54 and the 24, Steve Hopkins. Hopkins, his first race back since the end of 2023. Aaron Bloom, the Schramm Motorsports 333, goes into the 3rd corner, out of turn number 4, and will win heat race number 1 of 2 for the Carl Chevrolet IMC Northern Sport Mods. 2nd at the stripe, Don Moore. Then it'll be Jacob Shandy 3rd, Chad Nee 4th, Jordan Henry 5th, Shane Hopkins 6th, 7th Scott Lehman, and Scott Allen. Correction, it'll be Lehman 6th, Hopkins 7th. Allen will finish in 8th. Heat race number 1 is done. We are set for heat race number 2. Lyle Yeager in the 32 out of Winchester. Yeager's Plumbing, Umpqua Epoxy, First Strike Environmental, Superior Chassis. Starts inside, pole to his outside. It's the 12i from Brookings, the Brookings Glass, O'Reilly Auto Parts, the Central Point, In Motion Graphics and Designs entry. Twisted by Evo Chassis, Isaac Sanders. 27S running a Joe Car chassis. He's from right here in Roseburg, Jimmy Smith, the double-duty driver. To his outside, the 7K. Superior Fuel Cells, Grout Genius, Jerry Robinette Performance Carburetors. Car from Springfield is the teenager running a Victory Circle by Superior Chassis, Mason King. Lining up 5th, it's the TR Points Trucking owned number 1185. Wednesday night winner at Cottage Grove. Running a Razor Chassis, the Ricky Ashley out of Thurston. To his outside, the current state point leader, TR Points Trucking 11 Razor of Trevor Points. Matt Sanders, your Speed Week champion, the Brookings Glass, Twisted by Evo 7S, and the 29 from Oakville, Washington, Peyton Harding, has a little bit of a ramble and a scramble in turn 2. No caution. Lyle Yeager, the 32, is the one out of shape, as this is our last live look-in heat race on Dirt Oval TV and IMCA TV. Isaac Sanders and Mason King battling each other for the top spot. It's Isaac Sanders down low. King bringing the heat. And my goodness, a 7-3 run in a matter of a lap. Matt Sanders, who won his his second race here during Speed Week of his career. 10 career Speed Week wins, 2 of them coming here at this facility. Looking to pick up from where he left off. Isaac Sanders in the 12i trying to fend off his brother Matt on the bottom, and the other 7K of Mason King as we're going to go yellow. 2 cars getting together, the Ricky Ashley and the 1185 and the 29 of Peyton Harding collected. Peyton Harding, the daughter of Brian Harding, longtime modified racer at Grays Harbor Raceway. BornNuts.com, Dodge Excavating, MDK Construction, the sponsors on the 29 GRT from Oakville, WA. Ricky Ashley talked about him coming off a big win Wednesday at Cottage Grove during the midweek mayhem. Peyton Hardy, 3 starts in her young career, is yet to finish outside the podium in feature action. Started off with a pair, got a streak of 2 second place finishes. So Isaac Sanders leading, Mason King second, Matt Sanders third, Trevor Points fourth, and Jimmy Smith rolling in P5 in the 27S. $11.85 of Ashley still on the racetrack. Only made the tail end of Speed Week. Was 8th here and finished 4th at Cottage Grove. 7 podiums this season for Ricky, and finally a breakthrough win. A couple nights, had a couple seconds. One was here in local action on June 6th, Willamette Speedway on May 25th. A third at Southern Oregon on May 16th, and a pair of thirds. One here on May 2nd, May 3rd at Cottage Grove, and started the year off on April 19th with the third at Southern Oregon Speedway. As mentioned, this is our last live look-in heat race, whether on Dirt Oval TV, IMCA TV, whatever platform you're watching on, whether it's Facebook or YouTube. Order up by visiting IMCA TV or Dirt Oval TV. Buy your viewing pass for the rest of the night. Co-streaming with Fast 4 tonight as well. So Sanders, Isaac Sanders, that is, your leader. It's his first race since the first night of Speed Week. He hasn't raced since. He finished 16th at Southern Oregon Speedway. But his brother Matt, who's been on a tear this year, in car 7S, going to try and find his way to the front. It looks like he has found that map to get him to the front. Battle for second, tightening up as Mason King gets sideways. Lyle Yeager is going to miss him. Quick evasive action as Mason King in the 7K comes to a halt. So we will get to 4 laps complete, 4 laps to go. Matt Sanders is the new race leader. 6 wins and 13 starts, including 4 of them during Speed Week. His worst finish was second on the Monday night program of Coos Bay. Three wins at Cottage Grove, including June 19th during Speed Week, a win at Southern Oregon Speedway for Speed Week, Coos Bay for the Sunday program during Speed Week, and the Speed Week show here. Those are the tracks that he has won at, the 4 tracks that he's won at in 2025. Trevor Points has methodically worked his way up into position 3 in the 11. Oregon State champion in 2023, 2022 Washington State champion, and Willamette Speedway track champion 2021. A pair of wins for Trevor this year. Those coming, one at Willamette on May 25th and the other at the same facility on April 26th. Jimmy Smith, the Ricky Ashley is 5th, and it's Yeager and King with 4 laps to run. Final heat race of the night for the Carl Chevrolet IMCA Northern Sport Mods is going to get going now. Matt Sanders in the 7S has got the race lead, and it's the TR Points Trucking teammates looking to hold down second and third. Trevor Points for sure has the runner-up spot, but Ricky Ashley bouncing back from an early race yellow in the 1185. His third, knocking on the door via the high side, trying to get up into P2. Isaac Sanders is 4th, while a race for 5th between Mason King and the 27S of Jimmy Smith. White flag going to get let loose this time by as you've got Smith on the bottom. Smith has got to hold on for just one more lap, but Mason King making things interesting as the teammates fight for position 2. Ashley up top, on the bottom at his points. Matt Sanders trying to get away, and Matt Sanders is going to win heat race number 2 for the Carl Chevrolet IMC Northern Sport Mods. Ricky Ashley 2nd, Trevor Points 3rd, Matt Sanders 4th, Mason King holds on to 5th. Jimmy Smith 6th, Lyle Yeager 7th, and Peyton Harding finishing in 8th. So just like that, heat races are complete for the Carl Chevrolet IMC Northern Sport Mods, and we're going to have to bid adieu for you Facebook or YouTube live look-inners, but be sure to go on to Dirt Oval TV or IMCA TV to order your viewing pass for the rest of the night. In the meantime, everybody else, it's time for the I-5 Silver Bullet Late Model Series to come out for their first of 4 heat races.